Uh-oh.
Well, I gotta blow something up, but we got more blowing up to do.
Miss Foxcraft. Miss
Yeah.
Foxcraft. What is that way? And I point the way opposite of the mountain. Parallel the opposite way from the mountain.
As a native, what is the away from the mountain?
It's in the general direction of the bleeding tree.
So
General-ish.
I think you already know what I'm gonna say. This is the bleeding tree.
So we have two options.
Yeah.
Because we do know that enough firepower does in fact kill a bleeding tree.
Yeah, I got plenty. Well, I mean, we could split these. I don't
You're
know.
not split seeing. That's a bad idea.
I feel like a tree would only take like one, maybe two bombs at the most.
I would rather us not separate.
Well, no, I meant split these the bombs, so we would have bombs.
No.
So
Agreed.
that,
I agree.
that
I understand.
I ain't trying to die quicker than I need to.
Fair. So my question for the two natives of the area. Which would you consider to be the greater evil here? The possibility of the worms in the mine or the bleeding tree?
I mean, we lived with the bleeding tree a long time.
Whatever took my wife and daughter, and it's got to be whatever's in the mountain.
Understandable. And the mine is in the mountain, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi ho, hi ho.
Well, it's less bombs to carry at least.
There's one less bomb to carry, you are correct. You're not worried about further faults in your land, are you?
I mean, I ain't planning on blowing up any mysterious holes with any more bleeding tree root systems, so no.
That's fair. That's fair.
Need to save our bombs.
We do. Which means we now only have 4 left?
We got 4.
Perfect. Not perfect. I wish we
I
had
can
more.
make more
But
if we need it. It's just gonna take some time.
Erwin.
Now,
time,
fire.
we don't have.
Fire is easier than bombs because we did the whole like bless nonsense with these. But fire is easy, and it seems like the tree ain't like it. Any fire?
Professor Hayes, it dawns on you that when you pulled Walter out, that blackness on him was like ichor.
Okay.
From soil, from the earth, which is one of the sentences you remembered from your ruminating over the night was ichor from soil. And when you think of that, you start hearing voices and stuff talking to you, and the whispers.
Are you a worm or a tree? Who are you?
Professor, are you okay?
Voices, they're back, Father.
What are they telling you?
They speak in riddles, they speak nonsense.
Prophecy is often misconstrued as nonsense.
They've already told of the destruction of this place. Now they're speaking of... one thing that rings a bell is ichor from soil.
When he says that, Father Bartimaeus, he says something in a language you do not understand, and his hand bends into a form you ain't never seen, and that hole by him fills with the black sap that was behind him, and it starts to pour out over the top of it just a little bit.
30 feet back.
Tegan goes towards it to take samples.
Tegan, match.
Yeah, sure. I'll take a sample real quick and then get a
What are you
match.
doing with that?
When you turn around, you realize that he backed away when you told him the term ick or from soil, which of course don't mean nothing to you. And there's the hole there behind you. It's got like some of that sap kind of filled up the top and kind of rolled up, probably from the explosion, pushed it up or something.
And I'll as they're like, I hear him saying like get a match, and they're all kind of staring at me for a second. I'll say, no, let's not do anything rash here. I'm not something you need to worry about. And I'll slowly.
Oh, not
down.
for you. This isn't Salem.
Tegan's already with you and has a sample of
And I stick my hand in the puddle.
Don't do that's. Let's not do that.
And people always say Tegan's reckless.
And you feel something in there that it feels familiar, physical form, maybe from your anatomy studies, probably when you were studying anatomy early in your college career.
Mm-hmm.
You feel something in there.
Who are you?
And you feel a hand in your hand in the oil. I'm here for you. If you need me, I'm here for you.
Need you. Are you trying to stop this? Are you trying to spread it? What are you trying to do?
You see him talking to the sap, Father Bartimaeus. You don't hear anything, of course. You just hear him talking to it.
You just hear Tegan go, ooh, this ain't good.
Professor.
If you hear it calling your name, you don't.
Hayes.
Not now, Father. Can't you see I'm busy?
With what?
I'm talking.
To?
The it.
And what does the it want?
I don't know.
I mean, nothing that you have to call the it is probably a good thing.
Well, I mean, if he could get some, get him to spill his entire plan, I don't know.
And
It might be chatty.
Yeah, and you still feel
Feels like a bad idea.
it has you. You're still holding its hand or whatever. Inside the oil, of course, the ichor.
And I'll try to reach out using my inside voice to see if I can communicate telepathically with anything down there.
And when you reach out, you hear you can come with us. You can learn everything you want to know. We have the knowledge you're seeking. We can teach you the language. It's the ancient language. Ain't nobody else gonna know that one. No one can help you but us with that. We're teaching you how to decipher it now.
Use it to help people?
It's the ancient language. It's the beginnings of all. You'll have sight into things no one else will have. We can help you with that. And the hand squeezes a little tighter on your hand.
Professor.
I think. He starts to say out loud, I think. And he tries to pull his hand out.
And you do pull your hand out, and when you do, Father Bartimaeus, you see a hand, but only the bones of a hand. and part of the wrist, and he pulls it up. It's covered in this ichor, this sappy oil. And when you look at it, you see there is hand bones intact in the form of a hand, but only to a little part of the wrist, and then it's broken.
Professor, you're a learned man. Do you ever read Faust by chance?
Of course. One must.
Make sure you're not like the good doctor in the end.
What you're saying. Do I still hear the voice in my head, or when I pulled out of the ichor, did it go away?
No, it went away.
There is such a thing as too good of a deal. You are not a stupid man, and you know this.
It is tempting, but
Temptation is the devil's bread and butter.
you don't need to worry about me, Father. I will not fall prey to this thing's tricks, but if I can use it to put an end to this, I will. And then in your mind, I'll try to make a mental link with you, unless you say no.
Ooh! Oh, no.
You have to be
hear
willing.
whispers. You hear whispers. I'm allowing this.
Okay.
You hear endless, bottomless. Yes, no, trust him. Don't trust him. He's out to get you. He's not out to get you. He wants to help. You can't trust him.
He hears that all
It's
day
just
now.
That's it. Endless. Yeah. Oh, no, yeah. So basically, you're just hearing just this endless string of directions, ideas, thoughts.
Through those
We all have our demons.
thoughts,
We all have. Yeah.
you suddenly hear my voice, and it says, if it takes me, Father, you know what to do.
We all carry our demons, Professor. I'll make sure that if anything happens, yours won't with you.
It leaves your mind.
Yeah. And again, that was a telepathic response back. That was not out loud. That was not out loud. That was a telepathic response back. I believe, and this part is out loud. I do understand the desire of wanting to make sure things can be used for good, but do keep in mind as you do your research and as you do your thoughts into this, some things can't be used for good. That's all I request.
I will trust in your counsel. Should something seem awry, I will listen to you.
Benny, they were staring at each other for so long, and then they started talking like there was a conversation going on that nobody could hear. It was.
I
so
feel
weird.
like Benny only partially noticed that, and that she's her minimum safe distance away,
30
like
feet,
sitting
yep.
on the ground, just like it's morning, and she's already done with
Over on the
adults.
bench.
She's sitting on the ground. She's been like looking at her string and like twirling it between her fingers. And she registers what just happened. And then it was weird. And that's some adult shit
String.
that she doesn't quite get.
Make me an
and she's
intellect.
been examining her string.
Make me an intellect roll.
Oh, no.
Tegan,
Yeah.
match.
Yeah. Also, I would just like to point out that
What'd you roll?
we know it's from the bleeding tree
14.
because hand bones and foot bones.
Correct, which were also in the bleeding tree. I'm hoping if we light this on fire, there's a very slim, itty-bitty chance we might be able to burn out the tree from the inside.
Oh, that's slightly dangerous, but I'm
far
here for
away.
it.
So Benny, as you are twirling that little string in your hand, it dawns on you that as you're doing that, it is growing longer.
What?
It grows maybe an inch in the time you're sitting there twirling, and you look at it, you're like, it didn't just twist you. It has, you have rubbed it in your hands, and it has gotten longer. The string is growing. But when you stop, it stops.
I think when she notices that, she like takes it, you know, like between her hands and just starts going like this with it.
And the rope starts getting longer and longer, several feet long, as a matter of fact, in the time you like twirl it in your hand.
The second that happens, everything else falls away. Bartimaeus is just over and going towards her as quick as he can. Benny? Benny? What's up?
The bird that gave me the rope and said deep gave me the string, and I just rubbed it, and I just kept rubbing it, and now look at it. And she's like holding this long rope. This was my string.
Is it thicker or just longer?
It's just longer.
Okay.
I can make infinite.
That's a lot of string now.
It's still string. It's just long string.
It is.
And also,
It's very long string.
I didn't know I can make infinite string now. I don't know why.
It might be the string and not you, Benny.
Party pooper. I don't know if that phrase exists, but she rubs it some more.
And it slowly gets longer. And not long, you'll have a jump rope, probably. You get a jump rope.
This is weird, right?
This is not normal. Okay. That is very correct.
She like hangs it around, like just so it is like. Yeah, I know what she's thinking. But she drapes it around her shoulders, just like chilling.
Do you mind if I try rubbing the string for a moment to see if it does the same thing for me?
Yeah, but if it doesn't, don't get sad.
I'm not going to get sad.
She hands it over.
I take it in the rope and I start rubbing it a little bit.
Nothing happens.
So apparently it is you.
She pulls it back.
But it's probably just takes a. I'm assuming that that his casting now has some threads he could very easily pluck off.
You mean like a few loose threads?
Yeah.
Sure.
After being down with the sharp rocks and yeah.
Yeah.
He plucks out a thread. Do you want to try with another string?
Okay. And she drapes the other one around her shoulder, and then she takes and she like first does it with her fingers.
Yeah, nothing happens to it.
It might be because you were given this string by the crow.
Or I'm just really, really special.
I mean, that was already the case. There's only one Benny after all.
There is.
Is
there a big fire going on while this conversation is happening?
Well, I think Tegan's lighting the fire on the black ichor in the hole.
As soon as I get my samples, yeah, because the father told me to.
Yeah, you get your sample, lock it away, and it burns on the top just like any oil would burn, and looks like it may burn for a while.
Father, I gotta tell you, if you just started an everlasting fire on my property, I'm gonna be a little peeved.
I will make sure you get
It'll
money
be great
that
for
you
the
will
winter.
be peeved. Tegan, you will have so much money you won't have time to be peeved.
Walter stands up kind of abruptly as the fire breaks out.
It's just in the hole. It's not really spreading
Right.
everywhere yet.
But Walter stands up. He's like, "Are y'all done playing with the string? We got a mine to get down in." And he's clearly still shaken and aggravated.
Walter, can I have a moment
It's
with
okay.
you? Just a moment. While everyone else gets everything packed up and moving towards the mine, may I have a moment of your time?
Begrudgingly, he walks towards you without a word.
Benny
There.
does a look that Father will easily read as, "You be nice to him."
Tegan also gives you a look like you better be nice to him.
Nice to him.
Bartimaeus is going to be kind.
Oh.
Sometimes kind is not the same thing as nice.
Yeah, that's why I specifically said be nice.
You do realize that what happened down there was not actually your wife and child, correct?
But it sounded just like her.
I understand that.
And how do you explain what happened in Ganeses?
There are many things in this world and many things that I have dealt with. Almost all of them target people with the most love and the deepest regrets, because they are the easiest people to pull into a deception and to pull into an illusion. I am praying to my Lord our Savior that your daughter and your wife are retrievable from the mine. I am praying from the bottom of my heart that is the case. But when we go down there, if all that's down there is an illusion, and all that's down there are memories to be used and twisted and manipulated against you, you need to be of a sound mind. And I'm going to reach and put a hand on him. I'm going to spend a point, and I'm going to use powerful rhetoric.
Oh. What does powerful rhetoric do for him?
After encouraging a conversation for at least a minute, you can attempt to influence how the creature is perceived, promoting it as a friend, dismissing it as a foe, denouncing it as a foe. Yours is so well chosen that even you and it are affected, because your conversation and its doubt are paramount. From then on, or until you change your rhetoric, or the creature offers a convincing defense to those who've asked you about this label, the friend's social interactions gain assets, the fool's social interactions are hindered, and the foe's defenses are hindered as an action. And I am setting them up as a friend so that social and specifically social defense interactions are bolstered.
For flavor, and also mechanically, as you reach out toward me, I'd like to think that my bees kind of rise up to in protection, and also in response to my anger, more or less. So they're like attempting to play an armor role in your attempt at touching me.
Willing to get stung for this?
Okay, so if Scott, if you let him touch me, obviously I'm going to let that happen.
Well, if you don't want him to touch you, you can try not to be touched.
I think even with the kind words that the father has said, I think Walter would not have wanted to be touched at that moment. So I think he will. I think he will resist whether he wants to or not.
Okay. Well, again, I don't have to use touch to activate this power either. That was just for a thematic component.
Oh, okay.
Either way, the powerful rhetoric.
Gotcha.
Because it's also not something around like changing your mind or anything, but I am bolstering your ability to see reason, basically.
Well, I certainly appreciate that.
Yeah.
Right, but your concern and anger at the situation is not necessarily lessened.
Correct.
So even after this, you're still ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So after you give me kind of that, I wouldn't call it a pep talk, but
No.
non-pep talk, Walter, it's still in kind of a huff. Just get me down in that mind.
That's where we're going.
And you all, when you get done, Tegan is bringing over backpacks to throw on you and give you things. You all get things to carry. And Tegan, of course, also has the red wagon full of the bombs. Who's taking the bombs? You, or are you letting someone else take the cart of bombs?
So most of them can fit in the cart now, especially that we're down one. But I believe at least one person has to actually carry a bomb.
Okay. Who gets to carry the bomb? Benny?
No, not Benny.
No.
Anyone
No.
but Benny.
I think Walter would probably walk over and grab at least one of them. I don't know how heavy they are, so maybe not more than one.
Probably just one. Tegan says, just one.
You just need to carry one. The others are on the cart. So
They got a big boom.
And you all start heading out.
I think Tegan's gonna stay towards the back since she has the wagon of 3 bombs.
So it takes you a while. You actually have to go through town again to get to the road up to the mines. Darn it. And as you're walking, you do see that there are some footprints that kind of crisscross town here and there. But really big footprints. The kind you've come to associate with Barleycorn. And you're going up the road. Hold on, I gotta sneeze. I never have one. Wow, I only have one, I think. Thank you for the blessings, Father. You go up the road. It's midday by this time, maybe a little bit past noon. You get up the road, and as you turn right to go toward the mine entrance, you see that there is a car at the mines. You recognize the car of Miss Love. And there's a sign that says mine closed today. And of course it's closed because everybody's drunk down in town, so there ain't no one to work. But you do see the two of them talking to each other, and they're pointing to what you know, taken as the storeroom where they keep equipment and mechanical stuff. When they have dynamite, they have that in there too. But as far as you know, they ain't got no dynamite. But she seems to be pointing at the carts and then talking to him and pointing at the car. And then they both go in there and close the door when they go in to deal with something.
If we might, after we get out of the drunkenness of the town, but before we hit
You're out of it by the time you get to the mine.
Okay, but before we hit the path to the mine, Tegan wants to call Father back to her for a moment. Because, like I said earlier, Tegan's pretty sure she's going to die in this. She's okay with that. But she does need someone to continue the path of, like, not necessarily vengeance, but figuring things out that she was on if she is going to die.
The path of explosions.
Hey, Father, you might come back here for a moment.
Of course, Miss Tegan. How may I help you?
So, I reckon I'm probably the most likely not to make it out of this. I'm okay with that. But I did have
I don't entirely agree with that sentiment,
I,
but go on.
I have a few questions, and given the recent events, I feel like you would probably have some insight into some of them. Um, let's say, would you happen to know any sort of creatures or entities or things that like look real tall and lanky and make deals with people and slowly suck the life force out of them?
I can think of 7 different kinds of entities in which you're talking about.
Cool. At least one of those is somewhere in these woods. So would you do me the like small favor if I die of like
I will
killing
send it back to hell where it belongs.
Awesome. Second question.
Yes.
Not necessarily in these woods, but somewhere near enough for a small child in a nightgown to walk from. There is also a creature that likes fire and possibly killing large quantities of people, so I'd also appreciate if you could get rid of that one too.
I have a feeling that once we finish with this, I might not be leaving town for a while. Hopefully, you come back out with me, and we can kill the sons of bitches together.
You, but realistically, as the person who knows how to make the booms, I am at peace with I might have to stop this nonsense myself.
It is an understandable way to view it. If I'm being entirely honest with you, Tegan, I'm not entirely expecting myself to come out of this mountain alive either.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting for surezies.
Now, I would rather it be, how about this, we watch each other's backs and do our best to make sure that everybody makes it out of the mountain alive.
Sure, I'll do that. But I'm gonna be real honest here. I feel like if I can make it happen, I'm gonna make it happen. Whether that happens to be running towards the thing with the bombs, yelling, or what? I'm not gonna let it take the town.
Understandable.
Yeah, so just those two things. Keep an eye out on big lanky men making deals and sucking life force, and things that possibly like fire and maybe slaughtering a bunch of people. Seems like pretty normal stuff for you.
I hate the fact that it is, but you're not wrong.
Oh, and before I forget, if you do survive, you'll probably find a box at my place with your name on it. It's got something that might help you find at least one of them creatures.
Is there anything else in the house that we should keep an eye out for?
I marked all the dangerous things. Probably about half of them should go to your churchy place.
I was about to say, I hope you aren't upset if I take anything I deem dangerous enough and put it underneath the church's protection.
Yeah, about half of them should probably do that. And there is a note with more instructions upon my demise in the house, too, that should probably give you a rundown on where the more dangerous things are hidden.
I appreciate the honesty on that. Hopefully, again, we all make it out of here alive, and we can pay you for each individual item that you put into the church's care.
There's so many things, Father.
Think of all of the money you'll have once it's all done.
I don't really need money so much as I need, to know what the heck is going on in my woods.
Oh, I can teach you that. Don't worry. We have ways of imparting that kind of information. Besides, the good gear. Do you know how expensive silver nails are?
I suspect very expensive, but I haven't really found much use for them. I find more use for the things that go boom or light on fire.
I mean, they do well enough against bleeding trees, apparently.
Yeah.
Benny, while they're talking, you see up ahead over by the by the mine entrance, there are a couple of mules that are tied off. They use mules to help pull things and whatnot. And they're kind of looking at you, from the distance. And this is while you see the Mrs. Love and do you know who his name is? Yeah, Mr. Nick's Eddie Nick's talking, and then they go into the storage facility, and the mules are looking at you.
While we've been walking,
Aww.
it's never not gonna be funny. Just so this is documented, while we've been walking, pretty early in the walk, Benny picked up a rock and has wrapped her string to like roll it into a ball.
Okay.
And she wrapped it a little more, make it longer, and so she's wrapped her string into a big ball. And
you can make the world's largest ball of string someday.
You know, I'm pretty sure that exists in the that area. So
it exists in 15 different places across the country.
Everyone plays.
Right.
Every time somebody comes out with a new one, somehow Benny's becomes the new one. We don't know. Anyways, so we're a distance away, and Miss Love went past them. It's not a case of Benny could go up to these mules. She just kind of like...
Well, Miss Love and Eddie Nix, they went into the building, and then you could go up to the mules all you wanted. They're in the building.
I don't think she would stray.
And then you hear singing from a bird. And over by the mine
she waved.
Oh, to the mule?
She waved at the mule, just to be weird. She just waved, and then she hears the bird, and is like,
there is a box with yellow birds inside of it. A bunch of smaller boxes inside there.
Anyone else?
Canaries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't die. Take a canary.
Can I whistle? Benny, I don't think Benny knows if she can whistle, but I think she's gonna try and whistle and mimic the little canary.
I think when you're imitating a bird, you probably whistle pretty good. You're pretty good at animal imitation, I think.
Yeah.
Benny can only whistle when she's mimicking a bird. I love it.
And the birds all kind of look at you when you start whistling at them, whistling their tune.
Eddie, quickly, pick one. We gotta go. Before they get back out.
Oh, okay. Benny is just gonna reach her hand in and hold it out and hope that one hops onto her hand.
One will hop on your hand. I mean, each box has one bird.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was like a cage. Now she just picks up a random box then, and like, hi, you're fine now.
However, a canary sounds. I have no idea.
I don't know. That was better than anything I could have done. Yeah. And she holds on to the box very closely. And conveniently attached to the box is a respirator. Just saying. Since I learned about canary respirators, it's my favorite thing in the world.
There is a respirator there. Even you need it. I mean, probably won't. You're gonna.
Into the night. Like Tegan, I feel like standing there waving people and trying to get them in before Nick and Miss Love come back out.
And you're pushing everybody in. Is everybody going
Walter
in?
is 2 steps ahead of where you're pushing.
What about you, Erwin?
He's creeping over to the shed and just trying to, not too close, but he wants to overhear if they're talking.
Well, you do hear them talking there. They seem to be kind of whispering more than So you're telling me that there's some new mine shafts that have just appeared, but like different, like shaped weird and round and whatnot? That's what I'm saying, Miss Love. I don't know what's going on. I think it's more bootleg mines like the Guilty Hole. We got to put a stop to whoever's coming in and trying to steal your coal. But everyone in the town knows not to steal my coal, that there ain't no good come from that. We already made that perfectly abundant in the past, did we not? You did, but I mean, there's 3, 4, 5, maybe 10 new holes come through the mine that, I mean, they're not normal holes. Like, I don't know, maybe somebody's climbing down through it or something, but not trying to get a train in or out. But there's, all right, well, you keep an eye on it. Can you go get Tegan and get her? We need that dynamite in here. We just need to get that dynamite. And the parts. We need to get our carts fixed. We can, even with, if everyone came back to work, we'd be working at halfway. Those poor mules have to do all the work. We could get more mules. It might be faster than waiting for Tegan. She sometimes is distracted.
Rude but accurate.
I know. Somebody's got to undistract her. And she is not distracted by money. We need to do something else. So start thinking of something else.
I mean, I can think of something to distract you just fine, but
and what?
I'll open the door to the shed.
Oh, what? Why are you here? You're Mr.
Irwin,
Hamer.
Doctor Irwin.
Dr. Irwin. I'm sorry. What are you doing up here? The mine's
We need to
closed
enter
today.
your
You
mind.
know. What?
We need to enter your mind.
Tegan's just getting everyone into it out of sight.
But the mine's closed today
I mean-
because it ain't safe without workers in there. Why do you need to enter the mine?
Look, something's going on down there. I think your mind might be at risk. Me and a few of the others in town are going to check it out. I couldn't help but hear you talk about thieves stealing from you, and so I'm offering to keep a lookout for anything in that related to that as well.
How do I know you ain't one of the thieves? We don't know you. We barely.
won't bring a
actually,
cart or
let me
anything.
see your hands. Yeah, you ain't the thief
Covered
for
in-
sure.
Icker.
Oh, Icker, that's true.
This is not coal, it's liquid. You could touch it. But I wouldn't. if I
I'd
were
rather
you.
not. I think you may need a wash basin. You got a wash basin over there? Eddie, go get a wash basin for Dr. Hayes. He brings one over. Here you go.
It won't come off easy, and frankly, there's no time. I think your mind's in grave danger.
Why do you think my mind's in danger?
Because this came from the ground, not far from here.
Is that oil?
It's
Because if that's coming from the
oil.
ground and it's oil, I'm not so sure I'd call that a danger problem as much as a potentially a wealth
Yes.
problem.
Somewhere
Well-
for Tegan's like, I could probably get a car to run off that.
If that the case, I'll find that for you too. But I need to make sure it's safe down there for the sake of the town. And if I see anything that might interest you, I'll report it right back to you.
and you
have
said
my
some
word.
of your friends are going. Do you know anything about mines?
I have someone with me who knows quite a bit about mines, actually.
And they
Tegan's coming with us. I heard you mention her. I
and
think
she
you know
comes.
them.
She steps out of the storage room, and she looks around it. Tegan, I see you over there.
While all of this has been going on, Tegan has gotten everyone into the mine,
Right.
into some automated carts, ready to go.
Right. So you're the only one that they see.
In the mine area, I'm assuming there's a lot of debris and stuff
There
because
is. Including
I'm
the
also going to conveniently make it look like some of that debris pops at least the front 2 tires of Miss Love's car while all of this is going on. And she, after that, gotten close to the shed going, that's it.
Miss Foxtrot, Your friend, your Dr. Hayes has said you want to go down in the mines. Are you here to fix the carts?
Yeah, I gotta fix the carts. And
you got the dynamite too that we requested. Did you bring that with you?
I do not. It is curing, and it should be ready in a couple days. It's got cure, otherwise it's unstable, and it will probably blow up before you get it in the mine. I have had experience with that recently.
We need to analyze the blast zone, you see, to make sure it's the right size and amount.
Tegan's
Wait,
slowly
you have
coming
to
up
blow
behind
up the
professor.
dynamite to know what to do with how big the dynamite's
No,
going to be.
we have to see what you're blowing up.
She's just slowly coming up behind the professor to like cover his mouth and like pull him back.
Eddie, come
So
on out
anyway.
here. Eddie, why don't you go with them and like you can show them into the mines. They seem to want to go in. And Eddie is looking at you, Tegan, and Mr. Hayes very skeptically. Tegan knows her way through a mine, but I ain't never seen no doctor go in a mine unless somebody was hurt.
I'm a doctor in mining.
Like one of those smarts doctors and not one of those cures doctors.
Miningology.
That's not.
That's not a word.
So
I like to think that it's like no,
well, I'll tell you what, Tegan. I don't mind you taking your friend into the mines. As long as you promise me you'll have that dynamite for me. I mean, today is Thursday. I need it by Monday because we'll be open, and by that time there'll be no liquor in the town, so ain't nobody gonna be drunk by then.
Yep, cure times. It should be done this weekend. Probably Saturday, early Sunday.
And what about the cards?
Well, I'm going to go look at them right now, so I'll have more info on how. I don't know how much abuse and breaking you've done since I've been here, so I gotta look at them.
We've
before I
been
can tell you
mostly
how
doing
quickly.
breaking, not using.
Okay, well, I gotta go see how long those are gonna take then. And like slowly Homer Simpsoning out of the situation with the professor. Just like, yeah.
All right, Mr. Hayes, you can go with Tegan. Eddie, just Tegan, you need Eddie to go in with you all? With you two?
No, but if he wants to go see if the blacksmith is up and running, I'm probably gonna need to do some blacksmithing to fix the carts if he wants to get that started for me.
The blacksmith
You
is
make it
in
go.
town. Ain't nobody here today.
Forge.
Well, no, just fire up the forge. Just fire up the forge so that I can get to work because I know how to do the things. I just need it going. Otherwise, it's going to take, I'm going to go in there, look at the carts, and come out and then have to wait like a couple hours for the forge to heat up and then do the thing. But if he goes and heats up the forge, then I can just come out and immediately do the thing.
And Eddie turns and talks to her. He whispers to her, Dr. Hayes, you can hear him say something like, if I fire up the forge, I'll be breaking the new union rules. And she looks down like, I don't give a damn about those things. You know that. You just go get what they need done. If she's going to fix carts today, I am over the moon with that. All right. I don't care. I don't care about that stuff. Get the forge going. We need to get her fixing these carts. He'll go get the forge going so you can get the carts fixed.
Awesome. And I'm just continuing to Homer Simpson backwards out of the situation with the professor.
Well, you ought to catch up with her because she's going to disappear in that darkness and you will not find her.
Right.
Professor Lug.
We'll let you know if we find anything. He's getting pulled away.
And you all walk into the beginning of the mine. And you don't go very far in before you see that there is a staging area with lifts that go to different levels. One thing you find interesting, Professor Hayes, is that the darkness in here, it don't seem to bother you much. You can kind of see okay in here. Better than you thought you'd be able to, at least. Walter, you're all in the cart when it's rolling in. I guess Tegan is pushing the cart to get it going. It ain't going very fast, of course.
Yes, as a former trapper kid and car repairer, I know what I'm doing.
So the cart's moving, and it don't take long before it is pitch black in there, and you can't see your hand in front of your nose.
Lanterns up!
Weirdly, Dr. Hayes, you can kind of see okay in there when it's dark. And then the lanterns go on, and it's blinding for a moment.
Oh, no. Ah. It's not so dark. Do we need those?
Yeah. Deadpan done with the doc stuff. It's like, yeah.
When they see his eyes, are they normal or are they like dilated or something?
Oh, they're massively dilated. They're like black ovals. As a matter of fact, they look open, unusually wide for a human even. Like just open.
Hey, Doc, you been taking the mushroom spores? Because you look like me when I was one with the universe.
Well, I don't feel very one with the universe right now, if it means anything.
That's probably a good thing. I don't know that explosives and mushroom spores would mix very well. Although, and you can continue
No,
the card along.
Tegan.
Write that down.
It's
No,
also
Miss Foxcraft.
It's also
Foxcraft.
very quickly you go in and it is cold in the caves. There is a cold, cool dampness that it's chilling to the bone.
Deep.
And you are, it is in the middle of December. Is it December? Yeah, December. Not middle of it. It's early December, I think, if I remember correctly.
It's January.
Is it January?
It's Prohibition.
Oh, 18th. Right. I think it's the 18th is when it hits or something. Yeah, January. So it is cold. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about the cold level. And you get in and you almost would swear you can hear whispers just coming from everywhere. And it's probably just wind, turning a corner or something, but there is nothing like the dark of a cave, of a mine. You can feel your lungs breathing in the soot. You're used to breathing out in the outdoors, and you can just immediately tell that there is particulates in all the air. Tegan, you're used to this. You know it. It don't make it feel any better though. The bird is with you, and it seems to be A-okay. And where do you want to go in here? There is, let me see if I can show you the.
I think per Tegan's rules of the mines, every intersection they're coming to, she's marking the direction they're heading with a piece of chalk so that if any of her non-mine friends get lost, they could just follow her out.
The rail splits into three almost immediately inside, and they each go to three different parts of the mines. The the one that brings you nearest to the coal is to the left. The one that down the middle takes longest to get to the coal, and the one on the right is almost as long as the middle one, but not quite.
So my Trace the Threads is still up on one of the woo-woo dolls. Am I getting a vague direction that maybe will take me in the direction, since we know they eventually go down a hole, like a vague direction of that? That might give us a path to go.
You do get a feeling. It is hard to tell whether it is the middle one or the left one. It seems to be somewhere in between, and they both, turn in different ways in there.
I think she's going to take the middle one until she gets to the second junction, because that will tell her if it goes left or keeps going forward.
Yeah, the second junction, it goes both right and left and straight ahead.
Yeah, and then she's gonna be like, bloop, 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 bloop.
Going right would take you away from that feeling you got.
Okay, and it feels like more a left thing
More
than a
left.
straight.
More left
Okay.
than straight.
So she'll take a left then at that second junction, and then stop at the next junction to see if it's continuing down or if she needs
You
to
think
take
it'd be, at this point, the junction goes right, left, and center again, and you feel it's either to the right or to the middle, almost surely into the one on the left.
Okay. I think what she's gonna do then is go straight, because when she gets to that next junction, it will tell her if it's left again or if she needs to go right. Maybe it's like in between the two junctions.
All right, and you get to the next junction. There's two branches that come here. They're not quite directly connected, but there's one that goes right, one that goes left, and it goes straight. Straight ahead, you can see there's another place where another lift going up and down, but you feel it's to the right, not to the one with the lift.
Okay, so she's gonna follow that feeling, because her thought process is following one of these threads led us to a hole, and we were like, maybe not go down that hole, but it's probably all connected. So her thought process is follow the feeling of this thread to whatever this thing is underground, because it probably leads to another hole that goes underground.
So you go right, and it's not long before you are in an actual coal vein. You can feel the heaviness in the air from the dust that's just floating. There is a continuation for a while, and you pass another junction, and just past it, there is a hole that is above you, and it don't look like it was carved by people carving a mine. It's just a big round hole.
Does it look like the hole they saw when behind that house when they followed the thread?
Maybe, but bigger.
Cool. Tegan's gonna just look up and be like, well, that looks rather worm-like, so I think we're at least in the right place or getting to it.
But there ain't no
Is there
no ladder or nothing here. It goes up and up.
Does it look like it? I probably have to do a roll for this, but does it look like something made the hole going from where Tegan is up or from above Tegan down?
It looks like it goes from Tegan up.
Okay. Does it look like somewhere near them there's maybe a corresponding hole where it came out and then into our tunnel and then up into the thing?
It looks like it ended here at this tunnel that people would use, and it sort of ended here.
Well, give me a boost. I gotta check out this hole.
This hole goes way up. It ain't a short hole.
Yeah.
It curves at some point up too, because when you use your lamp, you can see the curve of it bending into the rock.
Yeah, nah.
Do you want me to go check it out?
Tegan's like, Benny as an animal would probably do better, but I feel like Father would kill me, like internally. Does it feel like my thread is going up into this hole, or does it feel like my thread is still somewhere we can follow it?
It looks like it's going up this direction.
So, little problem, unless we all suddenly become like muskrats or like little burrow fellows. Our follow thread goes that way. And I don't know about y'all, but I cannot fly.
I think Walter's gonna take that information of, I think it's this way, and just basically starts yelling up into that hole. Ellie! Evie!
Slapping my hand right over his mouth.
Get your hands off me!
You need to take a breath.
And it echoes up and through there and down the tunnels, and it's just everywhere for a moment. What were you saying, Benny? Benny, did you freeze? Did everyone freeze?
What?
Scott, can you hear?
I can hear you. Can you hear me? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Are you there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm seeing it too. And you're choppy, and it looks like I'm choppy. I wonder if I'm having an internet issue. And I always reboot right before, so I don't have internet issues. Although I have had a few.
Well, I can say this, Scott. For everyone else is better smooth for everybody else. You're the
Your video's gotten a little blurry.
one, unfortunately.
My fiance says that the live stream is up, but it's hardcore glitching.
Maybe a local
For
internet.
us.
Yeah, I can see it trying to get stable again. Let me see what my frames are. Oh yeah, I'm dropping frames pretty hard. Let me see if it's an issue with damn. I mean, I see us back. I'm
She said,
damn, I think that we may have to restart the Zoom call.
in the stream, Scott.
But-
So it's probably
I'm gonna put us to a wait state. Give me a second.
We
Oh,
are
the stream?
offline.
No, it's back. It disappeared for a moment. Wait, are you back? I will reload it.
yeah, we are offline.
Let's see if we're back. All right, let's see if we can. If we are back here again. See what we're seeing. It looks like we're back. Thank goodness. Sorry about that, folks. We had
We're back.
Well, that ain't right.
The mind fought back.
Oops.
Uh-oh.
No, we're in the right one. Yeah, the mind fought back. The darkness is trying to overwhelm y'all. So weird that I never know what's happening with all these things. Oh, there's some people popped into the wrong spots. Nope, I moved them.
I didn't do it.
Oh, we continue?
Yeah, so God, it took me out of where I was. Where were we? You're under the hole.
Benny.
Yeah, Benny was thinking about
Benny
going
was
up.
saying something.
Benny was saying that she'd go in the hole, and everyone's saying, no, Benny, bad idea.
And then Tegan gave
The
Benny
string.
a 45,
But the
right?
string.
Yes,
Yes.
that's correct.
And
Benny-
said, hold it like your
Benny
hand
has-
shaking. Like you're shaking someone's hand.
Okay, I can't
It's heavy.
do that if I don't have hands.
Yeah.
The string.
Mm-hmm.
I can tie the string to my leg, and you guys can hold on to the string, and you'll always know where I am because I can just make the string keep growing.
Question.
Yeah.
When we
And then we go. Yes, because I do take all of my stuff.
Yeah,
into my
because Taylor's
Christmas.
like, you had nothing and then you had stuff, so maybe we wait till after.
And I can't explain that. I don't know what happens. Okay, Benny wants to inspect the hole. Does this look like it would do better if she flew or if she was climbing? Because she has it's two different animals.
How would you climb? What kind of animal would you use to climb?
Oh, I got too many different screens. Oh no! Hold on. Minor beast abilities. Come on. Okay, so that's weird. Catamount, badger. That's so weird. All have climbing.
Yeah.
I could probably also
Badger
do
makes
monkey.
sense.
I just don't know if Benny
Badger.
even knows what a.
Yeah, I don't think you've ever seen a
Yes.
monkey.
That should make sense for climbing, actually.
And digging.
No, I haven't seen a monkey. But
Badgers are more of digging
so
animals.
those
They're
are
not climbing
those are
so
creatures
much.
that can do is
We
climbing.
can eat the badger up. It's fine.
And what kind of flying animal? would
Well,
you become?
I mean, in the book, when you transform, you get 2 traits, and Badger is listed as climbing and scent, which means that I can sniff things out.
Mhm.
So that might, I might really go for investigating. But does it look like I can, like, there's places I could latch on, or would Benny
there are
think
some, but
of
it
climbing
would be hard for a
or
badger. 'cause
flying?
There are some places to hold on to, but there are not a lot because it's just such a big hole compared to the size of a badger. So it'd be hard for a badger to climb straight up the hole without, because normally when they're climbing up holes, they're climbing up holes filled with dirt and they dig their claws in as they do it and that kind of stuff. This is like carved into rock.
Okay. So Benny will become the beast or transform into beast form as a hawk. A hawk seems small enough to.
Sure.
I would suggest canary, but canary feels too much like asking for troubles.
It's a little red shirt. It's a little red
Oh.
Little
Dirty,
red
don't
shirty.
Actually, I can also be a.
Oh,
Ooh. So
Forget this.
actually, so bat in mine is actually not great because there's too many things for the sounds to bounce off of.
Yeah, that's why I'm thinking like a small hawk. And I'm
Yeah.
gonna burn the extra Oh, math. I'm going to burn the extra to keep my competence in this one because this is super important.
Okay.
Bye, 6 intellect points. Here we go. I'm the hawk.
Before
She,
Benny
like-
goes through real quick, I'll make a mental link with you. If you have to accept it, but then even from a long distance, you and I could mentally communicate.
Yeah, we're having more chopping on the stream. I think this is a good place for us to break. I mean, it's earlier than I wanted to break, but I just think I'm having so many technical problems with it right now. I don't want to. What comes next requires a little patience and other things. All right, so yeah, so we're gonna
ask next week when we start again. Brandon, ask about that again because Benny will accept it.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for sticking with us as long as you did. I know we had some technical issues.
Father doesn't have to know.
All right. Well, thank you everybody. We will see you in a week. I'm sorry we ran into some technical problems here. Started having glitching and going on. Hate that. See you next Tuesday. Have a good night, everybody. Bye.
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 Burning rock, crackle smoke out of the mountain's mouth, hollowed by a cut, by a slash, by a fiery blow. Running through the valley like it's running through my veins, while red-eyed crows keep watch underneath the blood-red moon. My slunch white soul cries out to rise up against the tide of dusty songs cut hard from the dark mountain stone. Cut hard from the dark mountain stone. Cut hard from the dark mountain.